Aloha, Team New Beginnings, and any other teams watching, players, coaches. This is going to be a montage of 5-out offense that I want you guys to look at, Team New Beginnings, and it's just how I'm coaching it for now. So this is our pass and cut. This is just going to show you where everybody goes. So if you pass to the right, you're going to fill to the left, and if you pass to the left, you're going to fill to the right. Now down here, they got him coming back. We could also go across and set that screen like I said. So now they show the pass to the left, so he's cutting right. And this is Coach Allen. He has a pretty good channel. I'll leave a link of this video in the description so you guys can go check out his channel for more basketball knowledge. But this is for our 5-out here.
And pretty much every single basketball coach runs this same exact play. So let's get down and let's check out how you can teach it to younger basketball players. First off, what is the 5-out pass and cut? Basically, what it is your player 5 is going to be passing over to player 5 in this case, and then player 1 is going to be then cutting towards the rim. After he cuts towards that rim, we're going to then have player 4 fill that point, and then player 3 fill that wing, and because player 1 passed to his right side, he is going to fill out to his left side, like a circle. So after these guys fill their spots, if player 1 wasn't open to score, of course we're going to be looking for that cutter. Player 5 is going to pass the ball. Let's just say he passes to player 2. He doesn't have to pass to the right side. He could pass to the left. But if he was to pass to the left or to the right, he's going to then cut. If he's open, player 2 could pass him the ball. If he's not open, player 4 is going to fill, 3 is going to fill, 1 is going to fill, and then 5 is going to fill out. This is what you call a motion basketball offense. It's very simple. The most difficult part is player 2 because it's slightly different. So if player 2 passes the ball out of the corner, he needs to cut, and now he has 2 options depending on the coach and strategy that coach is running. So for example, player 2 can cut and then fill back out because he came from the corner, or he can cut, post up for a second, and then set a screen away for player 5.
And so you guys can have that option too. If you're in the corner, if you cut and you're not open, post up for a second, and then either fill back out or come back and set that back screen so 5 can cut.
And then player 5 cuts. There's a few different options here, which now player 5 can cut, 4 can pass 5 the ball, and if that...
And see, so if we end up here, we're in like that different offense, right? Where we got 2 big men down low or 2 men down low. And if we want to stay here for a second, we'll show some offense from here. But right now, we're not as good at that offense, so we'll stick with the 5-out, and we'll work on some of this double low guy stuff.
That's not an option. 2 fills out, 5 fills out, and you're still in 5-out. And then, of course, player 4 then passes. Player 4 can then cut. When he cuts, player 5 fills. This could be an option to pass to. If not, then 4 fills out, and it's the exact same thing. Really quickly, if you want...
This is going to be Sloman basketball's version of the pass and cut.
The simple give and go, fill the hole, 5-player drill. There are 2 reactions that need to be automatic. 1, if you pass the ball 1 spot away, then you must basket cut. That is, you must touch the spot underneath the basket. 2, if the spot above you in the direction of the ball is empty, then you must fill it. If this happens, the cutter will always have an empty spot to fill out to. First, let's learn it from corner to corner. The corner cut looks awkward because the only open spot after the cut is back where he or she came from.
Or going across and setting that screen over there.
This doesn't happen when you're playing 4-out or 3-out, and even with 5-out, it's going to eventually be solved with other options. But for now, we just live with it. Now let's pass and cut randomly.
Face the ball, cut to the basket, hands up, look at the passer. So that's what we were saying yesterday. When you cut to the rim, look for the ball. Don't just run to the rim and not looking for the ball. So they're bringing that pass, they're following their pass a lot and then cutting. So we don't really follow our pass quite that much. It's more like that one. But as he said, there'll be options in the 5-out later as we get more used to it. And so you see they're passing and cutting, but they're going to do some other options here. He's going to dribble that here, dribble that again, and see he cut there after the dribble that. So once you get used to it, you just keep moving. Everybody's moving, right? And then we get a easy, not an easy layup, but a nice layup there. And so this looks more like the offense just flowing around. And then she's going to drive in, kick, get that easy 3. So no plays, no pattern. Getting the idea. No plays, no patterns. No 4 players standing and watching one-on-one. A system that breeds teamwork, initiative, and knowledge of the game. Results. Teams that hunt for scoring opportunities on their own. So this will just make you better at basketball. Help you understand basketball knowledge. And so, all right, and from the pass and cut now to the dribble at concept.
Coaches, let's take a look at some dribble at teaching points with the help of Division II powerhouse, the Alabama Huntsville Chargers. These dribble ats will originate from a 5-out or open positioning with the ball at top of circle and the center being the trigger man. On dribble ats, we want the deliverer to punch the gap with the dribble. Dribble at the defender, not wide around the
Dribble
arc.
guy's going to come in.
If you are the player being
Attacking the
dribbled,
rim.
wait.
And
Let
get
the
that
ball
bounce
come
pass.
at you for at least one dribble before cutting. If denied, step high, then low to set up the cut. The passer, deliver a one-hand bounce pass off the dribble. These dribble ats show the pitch and pop.
So that first dribble at was you dribble at him and he cuts. Now he calls it a pitch and pop. We call it a dribble handoff. So if you hear DHO or dribble handoff, that's what he's talking about here, pitch and pop.
Concept. Same open alignment
So they
with the
dribble
center as
at.
a trigger man, but the off-ball defender is low. Step low, then
gonna dribble
high,
at his
coming
man.
over the top to take the handoff. The deliverer
So instead of
pitches
a
to the
handoff, they give a
recipient.
little toss.
The
We want to give a
recipient pops
handoff right
behind
now.
the deliverer and makes the defender pay for going under.
So how we have it, we're going to have our guards going back here to get the dribble handoff. We got our big guys going in front to do the pick and roll. So when you dribble at somebody, each person has their own 2 options. If you're a big man, either run to the rim, you cut to the rim, or you run to set the screen. If you're a guard, you run to the rim, or you go to get the dribble handoff.
We want the deliverer to get a piece of the defender to protect the shooter.
So he said get a piece of the defender. That's like me and Coach Al were saying set the screen. When you're the dribbler, on the dribble handoff, you're going to hand off, and then you're going to set a screen pretty much. To the other side. So right here. So how I was bouncing it to Al, but
Now
right
some
now we
next
want you guys to
level
hand
dribble.
off just so it's a little bit easier, a little bit more under control. So now he's going to say this is some next level stuff. So this is just how it can advance. So I want you guys to watch other videos, look up stuff, whatever your favorite players, watch a couple of them. But look up coaching videos. Look up videos about offenses. Right now, look up all the 5-out offense stuff you can find out. And then the more you can do, the more you can do in the offense. Like, not everybody has to understand everything. It's just a perpetual motion offense. The first thing you got to remember is what we talked about at the beginning of this video. You pass, whatever side you pass to, you cut and you go away, and then you just fill up. Once we get used to that, then other people, like if 2 people know how to do the pick and roll better, or like Kaston, if he knows how to do the pick and roll and the dribble handoff because he plays big and small, right? So he could do all 3 once he gets used to it. So just something like that. But watch the rest of this and just trying to build up your basketball IQ.
Black concepts. Here you see the trigger man keep
So
his
fake the
dribble after
handoff
the first
and hit the
dribble
cutter.
and continue to dribble at the next player in the corner. He's overplayed and steps high to low to burn the defense for a back cut when the one-hand bounce pass is on target. Here the back cutter turns his cut into a post-up by reverse pivoting,
So we
leg
talked
whipping
about that a
his
little bit
defender, and
earlier
posting up.
with the cut from the
The entry
corner.
draws a double team, which leads to inside-out basketball.
See, this is why we dribble with our head up so you can see what's happening around the court. You should always know that if you get double teamed, that somebody's open. Each team has 5 players, right? So if 2 are on you, one of our guys has to be open. That's just simple math. Like Coach Al said, basketball is geometry and math. So we did the pass and cut, the dribble at, and we showed the dribble handoff. Now we're going to show a pick and roll, how to do pick and roll. This video is not specifically about the 5 out. It's more about upping your IQ as a pick and roll passer. So I like this video here for our guys.
If you want to become really successful at passing out of the pick and roll, there's a few reads you have to be able to make. Now, most of you have probably seen guards come down and make impressive passes into these tight windows where it doesn't even look like there's a guy who's open, but they make.
And so like in the last video, how he said he wants you to be able to dribble and pass with one hand off the dribble. We're going to start practicing that more, but you guys saw me doing that when we were doing the pick and roll yesterday, right? Or just the other day. It doesn't matter what day now. The video is going to be. Well, anyway, you guys saw me doing that when we were practicing the pick and roll, so we'll do some drills to practice that so you guys can get used to that too.
Make it look easy. To get better at this, we have to recognize the ball screen coverage. Now, some people will call this drop or contain or low show, but the key for us is the guy guarding the ball stays with his man, and the guy guarding the screener is going to come up and help to try and contain. That coverage is going to open up this window to throw what's known as a short roll to the screener. So when you see that help defender retreating, you know you can throw it into that short roll area. But at
the very beginning, notice the dribbler, the point guard, the guy with the ball, has to go downhill, which means towards the rim. You can't just lollygag and stay out here and drift around. You have to attack the rim to make the other defender step up on you.
This is such a popular read. Defenders also understand this. As the ball handler comes off the ball screen, you can see this big sagging and trying to understand this. As the ball handler comes off the... But because this is such a popular read, defenders also understand this. As the ball handler comes off the ball screen, you can see this big sagging and trying to keep his hands down to take away that short roll. This is when we have to be able to make the pass over the top of that defender to our big.
See, this is the pass most of you try to make, which is a decent pass, but we also got to be able to make both passes. When you can make both passes, then they're going to be on the island. They're going to be stuck.
Now, some of you watching this will say, we don't have a post player who can just go dunk an alley-oop. The concept remains the same. If the bounce pass isn't open because of the defender, we can throw it over the top of him. 2 keys that we need to see from this clip. The first one, we must close the distance between the ball handler and the big. You can see in this clip that this big is all the way back into the paint. We need...
So I say attack the rim. He said attack the ball handler, or he said attack the defensive guy, right? So to me, if you attack the rim, when you actually get to the rim, you can go ahead and score. If you attack the ball, or if you attack the defender, then you're going to try to freeze him up. But if you attack the rim, he's still going to have to turn and play with you and kind of freeze up too. So either way, and like I said, you're going to have different coaches tell you different things. Different coaches are going to have different terminology. And that's me and Coach Al were talking about terminology and being able to communicate. So, and also watching all these different videos will give you a bunch of different terminologies from different coaches, so that when you do have different coaches, you'll know what the nail means, you'll know what the corner is, you'll know what the elbow is. But I digress.
For the guard to attack him and get as close as possible before they make the decision. The second key is this backside guy right here that we will call the tag. He is the help defender in this scenario, and he is so hugged up to his man that it's an easy read to throw it to the post player. So now that we understand throwing it to the big, either low or over the top, let's talk about how this tag man affects this play. Once we come off the screen, the short roll probably is open, but if this tag defender comes in and helps, we are going to throw it back to his man, which is known as the shake pass. This read happens very quick. As the ball handler comes off, it looks like he's...
And so I normally hear it called a skip pass, because you're skipping past the people, right? So shake pass or skip pass, I guess, again, it depends on your coach and their terminology and stuff. But this is why we need to understand things so we can communicate.
Going to throw it to the roll man. But this movement by the tag man coming in a little bit cues the shake pass for a catch and shoot 3.
Okay, so that one was not a skip pass because it was the guy right next to him. So they had tagged the guy next to him. So a shake pass would be when you do the pick and roll and the tag guy comes and you hit his man, whether it's a skip pass or a pass one over.
You try it. As he comes off the ball screen, you decide whether he should throw it to the roll or the shake.
Okay, we're here. See, this would be a skip pass to me if he makes that pass.
Making this split-second decision is very difficult, especially when you're down on the court. That's why I encourage our guys all the time to watch as much film as possible, because if you can learn it here, it makes it easier to anticipate.
I encourage all of you to watch as much film as possible. Like I said, watch coaching things. Highlights are cool, but coaching stuff and games are better, because you can watch a full game and see what your players are doing when they're not doing their highlights. See what they're how hard they're actually working to get these rebounds and all that stuff. But again, yes, watch game film
when you're on the court. The last thing we need to deal with is if a team decides to hedge. This is when the screener's defender is going to come up and almost trap or double team you. We still have to make the same read. You've got to locate the tag man and see if he is helping with the roll or if he's staying with his shake. This coverage can be more difficult because you're feeling more pressure from the defense. You can see that big is getting. This coverage can be more difficult because you're feeling more pressure from the defense. You can see that big is getting out there and hedging, but you still have to keep your eyes on that tag man. Here you can see that he is worried more about the shake, and that's what leaves the roll man open. Something the ball handler can do to help.
So watch, they dribble until they pass the ball. They're not sitting there holding the ball.
Himself out against a hard hedge is to do what's called dragging out the ball screen. You can see the two defenders are trying to take the ball. He needs to drag.
So that's the difference. On the hedge, when they jump up like this, now you drag them out because they're attacking you. You can come over here to the side, where I said before, when he was dropped back, you want to attack the rim or attack the man, right? He said attack the man. I said attack the rim. Either one, but you got to freeze the guy up when he's down here. You got to go at him. If they're both going to come at you, now you can drag him out, is what he called it, right? That's what I would call it too. He's just dragging away, staying away. He's probably going to stay outside the three-point line to keep these guys high. And then you got more space down here for this 1, 2, 3, 4 on 1, 2, 3, right? So you got these two. It's going to be a 4 on 3, but it's probably just going to be a one pass thing. Let's see.
Get into space to pull the defenders over with him.
Space.
After he drags it out, there are two potential tag defenders. The top defender is going to go with his man as he shakes, so he's not a part of the equation anymore. Now we have to focus on the bottom tag. If we can get our roll man inside of the tag, he's going to be open for a pass.
Okay, and you see in the NBA, this guy will stay over here and they can skip past to this guy. But if you guys aren't strong enough, we really need our post-up guy to get inside here and make that move.
You'll get to see that same look at full speed. Miles does a great job once he gets the double team of dragging them out. The big gets inside of that bottom tag and he's open for the dunk. When you're throwing it to the roll man, being creative with how you get the ball there might make passes available that otherwise don't look like they are. This video is helpful.